Hello everyone and welcome back to another DOLLFACE episode. Today I sculpted some more star children and as you can see I tried making some new strange alien face shapes. There's one with a twisted mouth, a blob with one single eye and some other weird non-human face shapes. So I'm gonna attempt to do a little voiceover because some of you have been saying that I should talk more about the process and basically just talk more. And I don't know, I don't really have much to say about these doll faces. I wish every doll had its own inspiration and story behind it, but that's not the case. I don't really think about how I'm gonna sculpt it or how exactly I'm going to paint it afterwards. I just do it without thinking, I just go with the flow. Well, the only thing that I really want to achieve with every Starchild is that it has to look alien-like or just strange in a good, interesting way. So on my shop, ALIENMOÉ, I have two kinds of doll faces. I have the regular ones, which are way smaller, like the size of a little penny, and usually they don't have resin eyes. Then I have the bigger doll faces, like the one that I'm painting right now. So that would be the Starchild accessories and the doll face brooches on my shop. And they all have resin eyes in them. So that's one of the biggest difference between my two kinds of doll face accessories. One has resin eyes and the other ones don't. So the resin eyes, I make them myself too. And I really love creating eyes. It's probably one of my favorite parts, making these accessories. I don't really like making normal human looking eyes because it's kind of boring. I love experimenting with different types of material. I always put some glitter and a little bit of paint in the resin for the eyes. And if you're only mixing glitter with resin, you can't really make any mistakes and the eyes will always end up looking amazing, as you can see right here. And what I also like to do is just putting random stuff in the resin and see what happens, see how it looks. So for example, I put some chains in it, some little charms, dried flowers, rhinestones. I even made eyes that have hair inside them. Super spooky and gross, but also so interesting to look at. Sometimes I don't put anything in the resin, just clear resin and that's it. Transparent clear eyes. I think that looks pretty interesting too. But usually I always put some weird, unusual stuff in them. I really love making eyes. You can get so creative with it. Actually, when I was younger, like 14, 15, I had this really weird obsession with eyes, especially eye diseases. I used to blog a lot about it. Like on my old blog, I had a lot of pictures of different eyes with eye diseases, and some of those eye diseases are quite scary. And I'm not going to show you pictures because that might be a little bit triggering, but if you want to know what I mean, you can look up cataract, corneal ochre, or hyphema. And I don't know if I pronounce it correctly, but anyway, so those eye diseases are quite scary and horrible, but they look, just aesthetically speaking, those sick eyes look so fascinating, as if something exploded in the eye. I don't know, to me, they look weirdly beautiful. And I guess that's an odd thing to say since those diseases are horrific. Like if you know what it is and what it can cause, it's pretty terrifying. But anyway, I don't know. I guess I just wish humans had more interesting looking eyes. Do you guys know those weird people who modify their face and body to look a certain type of way? I will probably end up like those people. and I'm not saying it's a bad thing to do that. No, not at all. Like, beauty is such a weird thing to me. And I think most of you guys would agree that most people wished they looked more beautiful. And for the longest time, I thought I wanted to be more prettier. But I just realized I don't want that. I rather want to look more unusual and strange. I just want to look so different that people on the street have to do a double take. And not a double take where you just go, "Ooh, oh my god, who's that chick? Who is she? Ooh, let me tap that." Not in that kind of way. More like, wait, what? What did I just saw? Oh, let me take another look. That way. I don't know. I wish I was more. I wish I was an alien. That's it. I think I saw something like that on YouTube. There was this guy who wanted to achieve a very certain look, and well, basically he wanted to surgically remove his genitals to become a genderless alien, which is, you know, cool if you're into that, but yeah, I wouldn't do that. Well, what I wonder is, if you remove your genitals, I think could there be a chance that you lose some of those love feelings too? I'm not a scientist, but I feel like you could become more cold if you lose that. Or maybe nothing changes, who knows? Speaking of Alien, have you guys seen the new Alien movie, Alien Covenant? Okay, so I don't think it's the worst movie. It's definitely entertaining, but story-wise, it was kind of bad. And I was honestly a bit disappointed. Because, so in the new movie, they do answer some of those open questions that were left in Prometheus, but the answer is so underwhelming. And I really liked Prometheus, mainly because they tried to tell a different story, because all of the Alien movies before that had the same plot line. Like, it's always like, the alien is on the ship or in the building and we have to kill it before it kills us. That's it. So I really like this different story that they attempted to tell in Prometheus. But, I mean, that movie still had its flaws. Like, what I absolutely hated was the space jockey who presumably created the humans. Like, why did he have to look so human? Like, after they removed his exosuit, this thing just looked like a Greek god with a huge nose. Like, he looked like handsome Squidward from SpongeBob. So boring. And some of those scientists in the movie were really badly written characters too. They acted like children, and so yeah, there were definitely some stupid elements in the movie. But even though I had some problems with it, I still kind of liked it. I think the ending of this movie really saved it for me, because Elizabeth Shaw and David the android survive and they go back into this grotesque looking alien spaceship to go to the alien planet, so basically where the alien spaceship came from, and they're heading this way to meet their creator, the creator of the human race, and she wants answers. She wants to know, why did these aliens create the human race just to kill them at the end? And I could not wait to find out what happens next, to see the planet of the creators and everything. So yeah, I was really pumped for the next movie. So I thought we would continue the story with Elizabeth and David, but no, we basically get the same old shit. In the new Alien movie, we get introduced to a new crew that we don't really give a shit about, and yes, the characters are boring AF. And it's pretty much like the first Alien movie, but 10 times shittier, 10 times more boring, and so freaking predictable. We get to see a lot of aliens, but you just don't find them scary anymore. Like, if you compare Covenant with the first Alien movie, like, you can't even compare them. The first Alien movie will and always be the best one. Like, it was so intriguing and fascinating and mysterious, and I loved how they never really showed the alien. You just got to see little glimpses of it, and that's why it made it so terrifying. 5 sequels and prequels later, and the creature's just not scary anymore. They just showed the alien too much, and most importantly, I think they showed it in the wrong way. So in the new movie you get to see aliens every second, and it looks bad, especially the baby. Oh my god, the baby, the first chest burster baby that comes out of the sky, who was infected with that sperm dust or something. Yeah, so that baby comes out of his bag and it looks so fake. Like, you could totally tell that it was CGI, and like, if it looks computer animated, it just doesn't look scary to me. I think it would have been way more effective if they used an animatronic or a puppet for the babies like they did in the first movie. I mean, they definitely had the budget to do that. But yeah, anyway, what's also kind of a shame is that I was so interested in the character David from Prometheus. His motivation was kind of mysterious. You didn't really get what his goal was, especially at the end. You couldn't really tell if he was the villain, like, is he good now or bad or in the middle or just confused? But in the new movie, he just turns up being a boring standard villain with a very dumb goal. So basically, he doesn't like the human race because they are not immortal. He thinks we are lesser beings. Like, that's such a weak and stupid reason to want the humans to die. You know, the only interesting part of this movie was when they explained what happened to Elizabeth Shaw and what David did to her and to the creators. But everything else was pretty bland and boring. Like, the rest was just filled with, you know, the basic horror tropes that you see in every other horror movie. Like, it's so predictable. I don't know. And you know, I actually kind of feel bad for H.R. Giger. You know, the artist who made all of these amazing alien paintings and alien sceneries. Like he's the, like, look him up. He's amazing. He's one of my biggest inspiration. His art is just simply beautiful. I feel like his art was butchered by all those filmmakers. I mean, okay, Ridley Scott did a damn good job with the first movie, but the next 3 sequels were directed by different filmmakers and they all sucked. They just used H.R. Giger's art in such a bad way. Like, all of those movies that used his work for inspiration, they don't do justice to his art at all. I mean, those filmmakers have such a beautiful, interesting source material, and like, you could tell so many fascinating stories. You could just take one painting from him and make a whole movie about it. And I think, like, it's such a missed opportunity that they come up with the most predictable, boring plot lines ever. It's always like, oh, the aliens are bad and we have to kill them. Like, for example, how could these filmmakers look at this amazing painting of the famous H.R. Giger alien and make it behave such a stupid way in the movies? Because so David the android is like, so he says, this alien is such a high superior species. And I'm like, no, it's not. It behaves like a wild animal. Like, yes, his physicality might be superior from a human, but intelligence-wise, it's a pretty freaking dumb creature. The only thing what it wants to do is to eat the beings that are around him, and that's it. It can't really think or communicate. It's pretty much just an animal. It's so freaking boring. Like, why can't those aliens be more intelligent, more unpredictable? I don't know, I just get so tired of those monster/alien movies where they all behave the same way. They all have one single goal: kill and eat all humans in the most animalistic, predictable way. Okay, so even if the goal of these creatures were to kill humans, why can't they at least kill them in a creative way? Like, there are so many grotesque, fucked up ways you could kill a human. Why are these creatures doing it in such a dull, boring way? Why can't they play with the victim a little bit, or just do some shit that fucks them up mentally, or I don't know, just do something with it that's more interesting than just killing and eating it. Like, we've seen that a million times. If you want to truly terrify the audience, shock them with something random. something so outlandish and creepy that it scares them to death. So yeah, anyway, I've been getting a lot of questions about what material I use to make those sculptures. And I can answer this in like 1 second. For clay, I use Fimo, and for paint, I use acrylic. It's that simple. But I want to try out different types of clay and see if I'll find something better, because I feel like the clay that I'm using for these dolls is a bit hard to work with. Like, I always have to knead and soften it first before I can mold it. So yeah, if you guys have any suggestions for better clay, please let me know. And also, if you have any cool ideas on what kind of doll faces I could sculpt in my next video, feel free to comment down below. As usual, I love how they turned out. I hope you like them too. If you want to purchase them, they are now available on my shop as long and short necklaces. The link will be in the description below. And for the end of the video, I'm gonna do a little accessory lookbook, so make sure to watch it till the end. So I hope you liked this little rambly video. I wanted to try out something different, you know, I just want to connect with you guys more. So yeah, if you like this type of talk through ramble video, give it a thumbs up, and maybe I'll do some more videos like this.